All Sports Media presents Around the Rim. And as always, I'm Edward Hall right alongside Mark Gregory. And Mark, how you doing tonight?
Tired, and I'm eating this world's finest chocolate right here, and I'm thinking I got ripped off because they used to be much thicker than what they are right now. But it is still the world's finest
Is
chocolate.
that is that all you do is eat?
Well, I do like to. Somebody comment. We got enough viewers on here already. These things used to be about yay thick and about yay long, and now they're like yay thick and yay long. What in the world? But they're still good. They're still good.
You and food. I don't know
They're
about you
good.
sometimes, but I gotta get your thoughts about this week, Mark. What's your thoughts?
Well, I'm reading a Facebook user comment right here. Well, that's true.
All the time I eat when it's free.
Uh,
But
th- thoughts about this week? The action's unreal. A few shockers. Of course, that's the reason why we do our pick'ems. And I'll never claim to be the expert. Ryan takes that trophy from us, but but you know, like the Harlan County Harlan game, the girls' game was just unbelievable to watch. The intensity, the fight, and and I saw a picture that absolutely broke my heart. Anybody that knows, Ella Cars knows what kind of a student she is and what kind of a athlete she is and just what kind of a person she is. I saw a picture where she was on the court crying and you know you feel so good. I've said it 1,000 times. You feel so good for one team, but then you feel so bad for the other team. And that's, I guess, if there's any bad things about sports, that's what you get.
Well, we got a nice little comment here that says anything's good to you, Mark. I'd have to agree. No matter what it is, Mark ate it.
These are pretty good. They used to be like that. Now they're like that. I don't know what happened to them. They used to have coupons. Maybe somebody as old as me will back me up on this. But these used to come with like little coupons and everything else. Mm.
You and coupons. I mean, I don't understand that. But like you said, over the week, I've got to cover a lot of good games here recently. As you know, I've been up at the 49th district up at OBI covering that district, and same way. It's heartbreaking to watch one team lose, but then you're super excited for another team to win. But you know, if it was my choice, it'd always be everybody'd be a winner. But it ain't always that way. So while we're waiting on our first guest, Mark, give me your thoughts on the remaining part of district going into region.
A lot of good games, but now the teams are left. I believe everybody's got their first games in, right?
Yeah.
No, I think there's a few being played tonight. I think Bible plays, and then another team that just get my mind. Maybe I know that there's two boys games, but for most part, the region is set. Tonight will basically set the region, and I just we sort of figured the teams that would make it there. And then that's a fun part of what we do. We could say, well, we picked that team, we picked that team, we picked that team. But all in all, just what we figured is these our 13th region is so balanced and so well coached. The people follow it so much, and love it. We knew what these games was going to be, and I mean, like even tonight, I mean, the two games that's on schedule, you know, even if one team is a heavier favorite than the other, I mean, if that team don't bring it, they're going to go home with the L.
I agree, and you're talking about the games that are being played tonight. Well, trying to look them up here. There's yeah. Well, for some reason my thing's trying to be crazy. So you've got, if I ain't mistaken, North Laurel, Jackson County today, and playing.
Yeah, both of them's boys' games.
Are you sure it's all boy games?
I believe
Well, my
so.
thing.
I believe it's maybe North Laurel, then I think Pineville and Lincoln.
Yeah, North Laurel, Jackson, Pineville, Lane Camp today. So that's going to be two pretty decent little games there.
Yeah, like I said, I believe after tonight, it's basically set to the region, and then the only thing you've got left now is that they're all after tonight. You know, of course, you're still all be playing for district championships and bragging rights, but for most part, you've got the hurdle, you've got the first step in. And of course, these teams still want to bring home the district championships, but there's, can I use that term? There's bigger fish to fry at that Corbin Arena, and everybody wants to get there, but I'm sure a lot of these teams, and there's probably not a single player on the courts, girl or boy, that would say, hey, we don't want to win the district championship, because they do, and it's a lot of bragging rights, and these kids, summer leagues, and all the other stuff that goes on right now. They, it's bragging rights to them to a point, because they're going to see their friends for the rest of the year. They're going to say, "Hey, we got you, we got you, we got you." I know I would.
I mean, I agree. Especially because like you said, it is bragging rights. But while I'm on that subject, as far as bragging rights, I got Ryan's thoughts on this last week. So let me get your thoughts on this graph, Mark.
Warrior. Um, Love him. I was there at the event that was very special to him over the summer, and met him, met his family. When you look at Trent Noah, you think of Warrior, and you see that grin right there, that smile. That's what you get from Trent off that court, but you get a different version of Trent on the court, and just love that young man, and love the Harlan County family, and love. I mean, you look at that overall record by Harlan County this year, and they've not played. They've not played Man U, Edward. They played the best of the best, and you go look at that schedule. I think earlier in the year they beat a team out of Chicago. And when you're talking about these big city Chicago type teams, what was that, Chicago Dale or something like that? I mean, I'm not familiar with the Chicago, but when you get a team that's out of Chicago, you're just automatically going to assume that they're good. And I would assume that they're good, and go up there and win games like that against big city teams like that. Watch out for Harlan County.
All right. I mean, I agree, and we've got our first guest on, Mark.
Hi.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
We sure can.
Awesome.
Hey, so correct me if I'm wrong, but this is your senior season. Is that correct, Claire?
Yes, it is.
Can I interrupt you, Edward, and ask Claire one
Go
quick
right
question?
ahead.
Do you sell these candy bars at your school?
We actually do. There was a kid in my class selling them today.
So what's happened to them? Maybe you can answer this question. Why are they getting so much more thinner? They used to be really, really thick.
I have no idea, honestly.
We will find the answer to that before the end of the night.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Before I jump into some of the questions, I did make a few graphs, and I want to get your thoughts on some of the stuff that I put on there.
Okay.
So here's the first one. Now this has not got your most recent games put up,
Mhm.
but as of right now on the season, you've scored 682 points, got 114 rebounds in a 29 game span. So just how are you doing that game in, game out?
I'm surrounded with a good team, a good coaching staff, so they help me reach my full potential. But I don't know, I kind of just get in a rhythm and just let myself play. I put in the work off the court or on the court, but I put in the work off games, so that kind of just helps me play and get in the flow. I don't really worry about it too much.
All right, and then I've got this one. Well, if it's going, there we go.
As you can tell, he's a graphic.
So that
They look
well,
good.
I try a little bit,
They look good.
but you've got. Well, I appreciate that. You've got 2,228 points, 383 rebounds, dating all the way back to you going back to start playing in the eighth grade. And I got to get your thoughts on joining the elite class of the 2,000 point club.
It's pretty awesome. I never really thought that. I mean, I never really thought about getting 2,000 points. Like I said, I just kind of play, and then I let my accomplishments come. But it's really cool to know that I'm a 2,000 point scorer. That doesn't happen for everybody. So I'm really proud of myself.
Well, Mark, before I ask all the questions, I'll let you ask some of yours.
Of course, we're part of the 13th region, and a lot of us folks, especially me, we're not real familiar about Region 1. Tell us a little bit about it. I mean, just educate me so I'll know a little bit more about your region.
Well, I started in 8th grade, like you said, and whenever I moved up to high school, we weren't necessarily like a top team. I'd say we were top 3 my 8th grade year. And then my freshman year, that was our first year. We kind of made like school history. That was our first year that McCracken had made it to the regional championship. So that was really exciting. And then the next year we ended up winning. So we made history again. And then my junior year, last year, we made it to the state championship. So that was pretty awesome. But I just say, like, as I've improved, my teammates have improved too. So we've had a lot of success.
So, as a player for McCracken, like in the 13th, you always have your rivalries here. Who do you consider your rival? Over there in your part of the country.
Honestly, we have our district rival. It's Paducah Tillman, and it hasn't been too close of a game in the past few years. So, I mean, you could call them our crosstown rival. But in our region, I'd say Marshall County and Graves County are the girls' basketball rivals.
Talk about Paducah Tillman. I believe you got them twice already this year, and I believe you're facing off with them again tomorrow night.
We are. Yeah.
How hard is it to play a team, the third time? And by playing this team the third time, how hard is it just to maintain that level of competitive spirit after you've got them twice already this year?
I think definitely there is the whole idea about it's hard to beat a team 3 times. I think we'll be good tomorrow night, but I mean, definitely just going into the game with a good mindset, approaching the game like you would if you were playing in like a state championship. So just having a good mindset and getting your team pumped up for the
Whenever I think of Region 1, and I don't know if you've hearing some whispers, you think of a lot of good football also. You think of, uh, like Mayfield, Paducah
Mhm.
Tillman, a lot of really,
Yeah.
really good football teams. Do you feel like maybe Region One's a football or a basket? I mean, if you had to choose, if you was thinking Region One, what would you think of as far as one sport?
I mean, my life has kind of been basketball, so my mind always just
Yeah,
goes to
yeah,
basketball. But hmm, I don't know. That's kind of tough. McCracken County, we've had a little bit of like been on the struggle bus. Our football
yeah.
team has, so I'd say we were more basketball based just at McCracken County, and then I'd say our girls basketball, obviously boys too, but our girls basketball has really succeeded. So I feel like that's kind of brought girls basketball to the attention of Region One a little bit.
I was looking over your schedule today, and I don't think that you had played anybody out of Region 13.
Yeah.
Are you familiar any schools on this side of the? I'm not going to say the world, but this side of the state, or any,
Who all is in your region? Because if you say a few of the names, I'll definitely know.
like Corbin, North
Yeah,
Laurel, South Laurel.
I have a few friends that go to Corbin. Darcy Anderson, I played AAU with her.
Yeah, see, I figured you's all. That's why I always say yous are all
Yeah,
rivals during the school years, but you's all best friends
yeah,
out of school.
yeah.
So, um,
Mm.
Edward, I'll let you. Edward's probably got 2,500 questions, so you might want to drink some coffee or something.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, I also seen where, if I'm not mistaken, you won first region player of the year. Is that correct?
I did, yes.
So, what's your thoughts on that?
That was really exciting. It mainly just feels like my hard work has paid off. I'm just glad to know that people view me like that. It just makes me happy.
Well, I mean, going back looking at just your stats alone, you can tell you've put in a lot of work.
Mhm.
So I mean, everything that you've got, it's been well deserved. And if I ain't mistaken, you beat a undefeated team like 85-53 this year. Is that
Oh,
ain't that correct?
yes, we did. Yeah, that was a good game. We honestly we played at our home place, and then they're from Missouri, so we weren't really expecting to have like a bad whistle. But surprisingly, the refs seemed to be really against us in that game, and we still did really good. So I was proud of us.
So I see where you've played a lot of out of state teams this year. How does that help you when it comes like the district, the region, and moving into the Sweet 16? How does that help you get prepared for the teams like that?
I think locally, it's just, I mean, we tend to see the same teams whenever we play locally, so it's good to get competition from teams that we really haven't seen that often. And I think that's kind of what happens in the state tournament. We'll end up playing a lot of teams since we're so far on the west side of Kentucky. We'll end up playing a lot of teams that we don't really see. So I think that just helps us prepare.
So one of my favorite questions to ask is, throughout the time that you've played, what is either your most favorite game that you've played in or your most favorite tournament that you've played in?
I definitely have to say the state tournament last year. That was just super cool. I always enjoy playing that. So that's just exciting to be there playing at Rep Arena, kind of on the big stage. But I mean, the state championship game was really awesome too. Just getting to play with my teammates. We had a really great team last year, and we were really close. So it was just really fun.
All right, and the last question I got for you is, tell me like one of the best players that you've played against. It can either be one of the toughest players or one of the most funnest players that you've had to either guard or play against throughout your time.
I've definitely played against some really good ones in AAU. I played on the 17U EYBL circuit this summer. So, I mean, there's just been so many big names. I played against like Shaq's daughter. I had to guard Aaliyah Chavez, who's pretty well known. So that was pretty cool just to say that I got to guard her. I think I did a pretty good job too.
Mark, you got anything else for Claire?
Claire, just two more now. I'll let you go. Of course, you spoke about it. You was one game away from the ultimate goal last year. What is it going to take for you and your team this year to get past that?
I think right now our main goal is just winning and getting back this year. Last year we had a team that was very, very capable of winning. So just to get that far was really exciting. Sacred Heart's been there a few times, so I think we were probably a little more nervous than them. But I mean, just winning the region, getting back to state. We have a lot of young girls, and I want them to get to experience that too. Be there to experience that with them. But getting there and then giving it all we got. Maybe get back there too.
Last but not least, I talked to a lot of the student athletes, here quite, and me and Edward, we go back and forth about this. I'm a crier. Edward ain't a crier. He's like stone cold. You're a senior, and I mean maybe the last home game, just you personally, not as far as the team aspect, but you personally, how did you feel when the clock went zero? Was they the butterflies in the stomach, or you just locked in like let's go? We got.
I was really expecting like kind of emotional about it. I mean, I've been emotional, especially last year, since I had a lot of friends that were going to be seniors. So I remember last year I had some tears on senior night, our last home game. But honestly, this year, I don't know. I don't know if it was that we had ended up doing so good. I had a really good game that night too. I was kind of just on a high, and I couldn't even bring myself to cry or be sad about it.
I must be the only crier left in this world. Nobody cries anymore. I'll cry enough for everybody.
I'll definitely cry the last game. Definitely.
Well, thank you. And when you cry, send a picture to us. Show us you cry. We'll put it on the page or something. We say Claire cried.
Claire.
We'll make Edward make this fantastic graphic up or something like that.
Just let you know, he cries over everything. When his taco bag's empty, his coffee cup's empty. I mean, he cries over everything.
And I cry over these candy bars at too thin.
I can't blame you on that one.
Which one's your favorite? The caramel, the rice, the wafer?
Caramel. It's my favorite. It's my go-to.
That's what I got.
Yeah.
See, you and food, Mark. Always.
But Claire likes caramel too.
Yeah. Can't go wrong.
Well, man, guess you can't go wrong with caramel. But Claire, I do want to, wish you the best of luck on the remaining part of your season, and I do want to thank you for coming on.
Of course, thank you for having me.
That's a good.
Great interview, and we got Trinity waiting on us. And Mark, I don't want to keep her waiting no longer before she has to put you in a headlock or something.
Yeah, she might start pointing the finger and everything here in a minute. Well, you got to get her on here.
I know, I double clicked.
Yeah, she's gonna point the finger. What she's gonna yeah, Trinity. Before he asks you his 1,000 questions, you like them candy bars?
Oh yeah.
Can you answer what's happened to them? Because they used to be really, really thick. Now they're really, really thin. What's going on with them?
I think they're just trying to get the portions down. I don't know. That's been happening with one of my favorite candies.
So which one do you like the best? The caramel or the wafer, the nut, or the almond, or which?
Definitely caramel.
See, smart interviews.
Yeah, you and caramel. I don't know what it is with everybody in caramel.
See, Edward's at a pause now. He don't even know where to even start now.
Well, yeah, Trinity, I actually made a few graphs, and I want to get your thoughts on some of these before I go into the half a page of notes I wrote down here. But this first one is your season so far, and it don't have every game on it yet. But as of right now, you've got 455 points, 77 rebounds, and 27 games. So just how do you perform like that night in and night out?
I think it goes back to just getting in the gym every day. I try to go at least shoot every day, do something in the gym, whether it's lifting or obviously shooting, working on my handles or something. But I think my teammates do a lot for me. Um, Defensively, we get after it in transition, so sometimes it gives us a lot of easy buckets. But I'm really impressed with my rebound. I stepped it up this year, as a point guard. So trying to get 100 rebounds this year. So hopefully I can step that up the next couple games. But yeah, I just get a lot of support from the community and my coaches and my family. So I think that's what really lifts me to play the way I do sometimes.
And you said you want to get 100. I mean, you're right there.
I'm there.
You're right there on the edge of it. And here's the next one. So this is kind of going through your time being there at Pikeville and dating all the way back to you being in the 7th grade, if I'm not mistaken, when you started playing with them. But you've got 2,417 points, 445 rebounds in 191 games. You're right there at the edge of also breaking the 500 rebound club. So just how much hard work does it take to be able to reach that?
Definitely a lot, I would say. The amount of hours you put in the gym, subtract your games, there's so much more time you put in by yourself and with your team. So I've definitely done and there's obviously more to be done. So it's more exciting just to know that I can keep growing, especially going to the college level. That's what I'm really excited about. Just trying to expand my game even more. I think being around different coaches, different players that can push me, I think that's going to be really, really good for me. But yeah, I think my dad's been a really big part of pushing me. He's taught me everything I know about basketball, so I kind of want to give him a little shout out right there.
Well, that was actually one of my questions about who pushed you the hardest, because I kind of seen, there about your dad. But my first question before I let Mark go into asking a bunch of questions is February the 11th. Tell me what that is now in the city of Coal Run.
That's Trinity Row Day. They called us up one day. Well, they didn't call me. They called my dad because they wanted to make it a big surprise. So I was like, what's going on? So they called Dad, and after they realized I could be a Miss Kentucky, that they thought that was, a really big deal, and they wanted to celebrate me as, I've lived here my whole life. So, they called Dad, and they were like, we want to name a day after her. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, that's really cool. When Dad told me, I was like, stop joking. Like, it's not funny. Like, don't do that. And then we went down, like, had this big plaque for me and everything. And it was a really cool moment. Obviously never thought that would happen, but really thankful for them. And they've been supporting me every step of the way. So I don't know. I think it's really cool. And it was Super Bowl Sunday. So Mom was like, not Super Bowl Sunday, Trinity Row Day. And cool.
Well, I mean, how many people has their own day? Right. I mean, but Mark, before I start asking all these questions, I'll let you go into some.
Well, I will put this up, Trinity. Will you educate this Case Crowley fella right here? He said the Chris bar. I mean, will you set him straight about which is the best?
Listen, I'm not gonna get into that. I'm gonna let y'all can.
So she said that's a 13th region battle right there, but caramel. If I pronounce that caramel.
Ooh.
Well, in here in the hills we say caramel. Okay, we ain't worried about it, so it's all good.
Can't go wrong. That's my.
Trinity, I gotta ask you maybe an off the wall question here. Cassie Row, any kin there? Any kin folk there, or have you been asked that question?
I've been asked that a lot. I don't really. I know our dad up in the same kind of area, but never really thought so. It was just kind of a coincidence that we both really cool and same area. So
See, that's what I was saying. Both movies really, really good basketball. Same last name, same area. Like they have to be Kim Polk. I was like, I need to ask her that. I need to like. They were like, I don't know if you should. I was like, I should, but hey, you never know. It might
Yeah,
be you can
yeah.
say it's a long lost cousin or something like that. But this year, I would say we're in the mountains, but I can honestly say you're probably further back in the mountain than even we are. So, and your team has played, I think, four of our 13th region teams over here. So, uh, I'm not going to have you predict our 13th region champion, but could you tell us a little bit about what, you play Corbin, I believe, this year, North Laurel, South Laurel, and Harlan, I believe, all 13th region teams. Could you tell us a little bit about your matchups with them?
Yeah, I think they all play pretty good defense all around. Definitely, it's a little different than 15th region. They're very physical. Everybody, I feel like they're all on the same page, like their IQ across the board. I was really impressed with all of them, and like they're all really young, so I think that's really cool. Especially South Laurel. Like I think they're going to be really competitive the next couple of years, especially if they just get their pieces in the right places. But Corbin, I was really impressed with Corbin. I think they have very talented senior-led team. So I think them and North Laurel feel like they could go at it pretty hard. I don't. I feel like Corbin's probably the favorite in my opinion. I do have some friends on that team, so I might be a little biased, but really proud of Callie and what she's doing. So shout out to Callie. But yeah, I feel like they're definitely the one to beat in that region.
Well, that sort of led me to my next question. I mean, all you girls are rivals right now, but you all like play together in summer camps and all. I mean, any of these girls you played with, been teammates with, that
Oh yeah, I like a lot of the girls across the state. I've played with a lot of, whether it's like college camps, AAU. A lot of it's been college camps. I've actually met especially some younger ones. Obviously, last year I went to a bunch of camps and they were all there, so it was cool to get to see them. And them, they come up to me, talk to me. So I thought it was cool to kind of share that relationship with them, especially if you're out of state and you meet a Kentucky girl. I feel like that's a really cool moment. But yeah, like in different regions, I'd say I at least have probably 5 or 6 girls that I'm like, I can talk to and get some feedback from them. But AAU has definitely been my biggest thing with like building relationships with girls across the state, especially where I've played, I think, on like 3 different teams. So I thought that every team I've played on has been filled with talent, and it's been really cool to learn how different people play and try to feed off them and learn like what things they can and can't do and what things I can and can't do with them. It's really fun to mesh together and then to see them, play on their high school teams and just see how they translate that. It's been really cool and special for me to be able to support them and support me along the way. So
um, you just played Sacred Heart earlier in the year, and we all know about Sacred Heart and stuff like that. What do you get out of a game like that when you go and face a team like that?
obviously we came in, they're the ones that's been 3 times state champions. So we're going in there seeing how we can match up with them and seeing what we need to do to get better. And I think that was the biggest thing for us this whole season was just playing the best competition. We can learn what we can do so we can go to state and compete. So that's what we're chasing for. We want to ring. We want to go as far as we can in the tournament. We want to win that first game because no one at our school has ever won a game at state on the girls' side, anyways. So I think that would be really special for us. And I think going and playing Sacred Heart was just like that's what we needed to happen. Obviously, to see where we're at, and we saw the things we needed to work on, and I feel like we're moving in the right direction.
If I'm right, and tell me if I'm wrong, I think I know a little bit about your region, but we always ask, who's your rival? Can I just guess that you think of maybe Belfry as your rival, or am I even close to that? If you was considered a rival, because we always talk about rivalry games here.
I think over the past years, Belfry pretty competitive, especially when I was younger. But I would say Shelby Valley has always been, just because they're in our district. We got to play them at least
Yeah.
twice, and especially since they're in LA, we play them 3 or 4 times a year. So it was always really heated, especially growing up. But I feel like it's kind of faded over the years. But obviously still consider them our rivals, I guess. But I think as we've grown up, it's been like Martin County, Lawrence County, teams like that. Just different teams. They develop differently. So I guess it kind of changes over the years. But I feel like Valley's always going to stay the same for us.
Edward.
Well, I have to actually go over a few. Well, there's more than a few. There's a lot of accolades that you have reached, a lot of milestones. So correct me if I'm wrong on any of these, but you are Pikeville's all-time leading scorer now. You are over 1,000 career assist mark. I think the only assist Mark's ever got is like eating some kind of food or something. But you've got the most 3-pointers for a school record, and you have won out of 5 seasons. You have won 4 15th region titles, if I'm not mistaken on all those.
Yes, that would be correct.
So just how do you do it? I mean,
a lot of work. That's really all there is to it. Just setting my mind to it. I love basketball. I want to give it everything I have. So I feel like I've tried to do that the best way I can. In every aspect of the game, especially since I've obviously got 1,000 assists and then leading scorer. So that kind of covers most of the areas in the game of basketball, especially as a point guard. So I think I just try to give it everything I have. I've been led by the right people growing up, so I think that just pushes me to be even better. I can't give any credit to those candy bars, obviously, but I think that's about it.
So these last 2 questions are probably one of my favorite questions I like to ask. So, what has been your most favorite either game or tournament that you have played in?
I think the most competitive tournament I played in with my high school team was probably the Queen of the Commonwealth last year. That was really exciting because it was most of the teams that you would assume are going to make it to the Sweet 16. So that was really exciting just to go down there and compete. My favorite tournament, I don't know. Let me think a little bit. Probably Run for the Roses this summer with my AAU team with Craig Campos. We had to play Sarah Strong, and I don't know if you know who that is, but she's like #1 in our class, and she's really good. And they have a bunch of other really good players, and they were supposed to slaughter us. Like it was absolutely it was not supposed to be close. And we came out, and I was playing really good. I was guarding their point guard, and I kind of shut her down a little bit, and I was doing my thing, And it was like standing room only, like a bunch of coaches, and then UConn's assistant coach had told a coach that was recruiting me at the time that I was her second favorite player behind Sarah Strong. So I was like, yeah, this is it right here. Yep, that's all. That's all I needed to hear. I'm good. That's good. So I think that was a really cool moment. Definitely a really fun tournament, even though it's like drug on for days and days. I feel like I lived in Louisville for 2 weeks, but it was fun. It was my last tournament too, in the summer. So I think just to close it out with that it was really fun.
So my last question for you is, who has been either the most competitive or your most favorite person to play against?
I definitely think Zakiya Johnson is the toughest to play against because she's so versatile. She can shoot, drive, can post you up. Like she's obviously the best in her class by far. So to be able to be in the same state and compete against her and watch her has been amazing. And I think also we played at Kentucky camp against Leah Macy and Jeloni Cambridge. She's another point guard in my class. And, I think going at it with her was really fun and good to see. She's really talented, and I don't know who my favorite to go against would be, but yeah, that's probably about it. But I think there's just a lot of talented players I'm probably not thinking of, but yeah, those are some good ones that stuck out, I think.
Well, Mark, you got any final questions?
No, I just, like we tell all of our 13th region teams, wish you the best of luck. Wish you best of luck for not only for you and your team, but you personally for your next adventure. And when we start watching on ESPN, think of us poor guys. Slip us some tickets every now and then. So just remember us. But just good luck for you personally in your future, and cannot wait to see what the future holds for you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you. Hopefully see you guys at Rep.
That was a good interview.
It was, and we got I'm gonna say the man of the hour waiting on us, Mark.
Yeah, absolutely. I cannot wait for this one.
Well, how you doing, Trent?
Going on, guys? I appreciate you having me.
Well, we appreciate you coming on. I figured Mark was going to hit you with the candy question, but he's slacking.
I was going to ask him, but Trent keeps in good shape. He might not even want to deal with these chocolates, but Trent, which one do you like? Do you like the caramels or the wafers or the almond ones or?
I mean that caramel one doesn't look too bad. But
what happened to them? Didn't they used to be like yay thick, and now they're like really really thin? What's happening to them?
I don't know. They used to sell those at school though, and then
Well, I got a couple quick graphs we're going to jump into before I start letting Mark hit you with some of them hard hitting questions.
Well, one of them vanishes. I don't know what goes on. You post it up and it saves, and the other one, like the line goes through it and it's gone. I don't know what.
That's because it's a quick video.
Oh, okay. See, I learn something new every day.
But this is your season as of right now. I don't have the most recent ones, but you've got 900 points on the season, 309 rebounds, and in a 30 game span. So just how do you do that game in, game out, Trent?
I mean, yeah, I feel like a lot of work comes with that, but I mean, my teammates and coaches, they're always putting me in the right spot. I couldn't do it without my point guard. He's always setting it up, making it easy for me, and my teammates, they draw a lot of attention too. So I feel like they don't get the credit that they deserve, but it's huge. It's huge to play alongside them, and with my coaches, they're always putting me in the right spot, and it's just awesome playing with them guys and being with them in the locker room.
And this one right here will date back through your, if I ain't mistaken, you started playing with them in 8th grade. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
So on this one, you have 3,440 points, 1,402 rebounds in a 148 game span. I mean, that's just phenomenal. How you perform like that day in, day out, the work that you have to put in, and the rhythm that you and your teammates are in, that's unheard of numbers that you see.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great 5 years, and thankfully I'm blessed that God's kept me healthy through the majority of my time in high school basketball, and I've played with many great players, and honestly, it's been the best 5 years of my life. So it's really cool to see it all happen, and it's sad. It's coming to an end, but it's time to win some games in the postseason.
And the final graph I've got for you before we start letting Mark hit you with some questions is, I think I actually asked you this on the night that it happened, but I just got to get your thoughts on it again. you becoming at that point in time, you became Harlan's all-time leading scorer with 3,375 points on February 17th. So I got to get your thoughts on that again.
Yeah, it's awesome, and it's a very, very humbling feeling. If I could be half the player that Charles Thomas was, and what he did at high school and playing in the Final Four at Minnesota, it would be a huge accomplishment. But I mean, again, my teammates and coaches always put me in the right spot to make plays, and I couldn't do it without them.
Well, Mark,
Trent, on a personal level, I want to personally thank you because you was always so nice to me, and me starting, what I was doing, and you were just always a really really comfortable interview, and you never did turn us down. You always was right there, Johnny, on the spot, and you made my job for many many years a whole lot more easier, and I do thank you for that. And thank you for just always being there for us anytime we need it. And we know you always had a busy schedule, but you really really appreciate that for sure. But um, on the we know about Maddox and Reggie and what they bring to the table and stuff. Could you speak a little bit about the other seniors? I think Mace. I think there's two other seniors on your team, Trent. Mace and maybe Caleb. Maybe speak a little bit about them. No, a lot of people don't know a whole lot about them. Hey,
Um,
give them.
yeah, Caleb's playing a really big role for us this year. He's starting. He's one of those guys that really stuck it out and worked really hard. He was the sixth man. He didn't get to play till his junior year, then became the sixth man and got minutes and played huge for us, especially in the district finals last year. And then now he's stepped into a starting role, shooting the ball really well, around 40%. So I mean, you can't ask for much better than that. And Mason Homs, he moved here from Madison Southern. He's a really good baseball player, and it's been a blessing to get to know him and have him around on the team. And yeah, they're just the two great people, and they just make the team.
Uh, I always tease a lot of the other student athletes. I'm a crier. You're and again, you've got another home game here, I guess Friday night. So it ain't your last home game, but just Friday night. Once it's going to basically be your last home game. Uh, what do you think your emotions are going to be that night when the clock strikes zero?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be super bittersweet for sure. I mean, hopefully it'll strike zero and we'll be district champions, but
Yeah.
feel a little better. But yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of hours and time has been put into that gym. All six of our home games this year, but yeah, it's definitely gonna be bittersweet. But hopefully, the last home game will end in a district championship.
Talking about your district championship, you played Bell twice, and that age-old saying, it's hard to beat a good team three times. I mean, what are you going to bring to the table to be able to accomplish that?
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to play a really good game, and Coach Sizemore is gonna have the Bell County team ready. They've won 20 plus games. I think they started out the year 16 and 0 or something like that. But yeah, they're really good. They play a postseason style of basketball, so that's always hard to beat. They make you guard, and they'll guard us, and Coach Sizemore will definitely have them ready. So if we can come out with a win, we'll definitely be fortunate.
Absolutely, Edward.
so I got to get your thoughts on the schedule that you have played this year. You have played a lot of out of state teams, a lot of out of region teams. You've played a lot of teams that is expected to make it to the Sweet 16. So playing that style of schedule, that caliber of competition, give me your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, we just feel like iron sharpens iron, and hopefully those games will prepare us for the postseason. I just think that makes it even more fun for us to go in every night and compete and against the top teams, and we feel like that can't do anything but make us better.
I mean, I agree with you 100%. And I gotta ask you, how do you think the atmosphere is going to be there at the district championship game?
Oh yeah, it should be phenomenal. We already have the wide out going. Whenever I was in 8th grade, we had that same wide out, and everybody had the white T-shirts on. It'll be rocking for sure. I'm excited. We'll definitely last home game will go out with a bang for sure.
But y'all gonna let off some fireworks, or just going out, or just gonna go out with a bang on the court?
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
So I got to ask you about Coach. Tell me what he's done for you. Personally.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to be able to play the past 2 years for him. He definitely will have us ready come Friday, and like he has all year. But yeah, it's he's a phenomenal guy. Knows his stuff, and it's just been a privilege to play for him.
And before I get into my couple favorite questions to ask, you know, having the chance to go back to region, what is like the difference, playing there than what it is like at home, like because everybody says that the courts are different. So give me your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really play there. You're not really in there a lot. So I mean, it's everybody's unfamiliar with it. But it's definitely it's not a high school court. It's not in a basketball made facility, but it's still a basketball and two hoops that you're trying to put the ball through. So yeah, we're just excited to get down there, and we're fortunate enough to get the win over Middlesboro, and we're looking forward to it.
Well, Mark, you got anything else for I asked him?
Trent, again, I just cannot give you enough praise and enough thanks for again all the interviews you gave to us and just all the time that you've invested to us. And one thing I've always said about you, you've never turned us down once. You like, I'll be right, right there, Johnny, on the spot, and that shows true character. And it's hard not to be a fan of yours, but for I'm gonna use that term underclassmen, the student athletes coming behind you. If they wanted to be, another you or somebody trying to get the goals that you've reached, any words that you could tell them what they need to do to get to that?
Uh, yeah, I mean, I guess everything just all boils down to hard work. I mean, you can't really have anything worth anything unless you work hard for it. I feel like everything that is valuable, it takes a tough road to go down, and that's what you have to do sometimes. But yeah, just work on your craft every day, and just keep your head down and work hard and trust God.
And the last thing, and I've asked others this before, but I could just imagine, this being your senior year, and I'm not going to go into, what your future holds, but that everybody already knows that. But how hard has it been for you just to be just a normal, everyday senior at Harlan County High School, and not have all this other outside stuff, really hit you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I did a good job with like separating basketball and everything else. Still focus on school, get my fair share of video games in every now and then, but I just feel like I do a pretty good job at that. But devote a lot of time to basketball too, and hopefully we'll win some postseason games and make some school history here soon.
Absolutely. But again, thank you for your time, and we're pulling for you, truthfully, I absolutely cannot wait to watch you at the next level because you're definitely going to be there.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate what all y'all do for us and all the athletes around this part, and y'all do a great job.
Well, we appreciate that. And Mark, I don't know, the last few years I've got to cover him. I don't know if you had a chance to see this, but I say it probably takes him after the game's over with, probably a good 2 hours before he can even leave the gym because of all the photos, the autographs that he has to take. So how does that make you feel knowing that you've got like these? Because I've seen little ones come up to you at 5, 6, maybe even younger, wanting to get pictures with you. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, it definitely feels it's a good feeling to see that. And I was once in their situation, looking up to the older high school kids, and it's just cool to see it all come full circle and everything like that. But yeah, no, it's great just to hopefully be a good role model to the youth.
Well, I mean, I have to say, I've never yet seen you turn anybody down. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better young man. And but I've got to ask you. These are always been my favorite two questions to ask. What has either your most favorite game or most favorite tournament that you have played in?
That was hard. The Arby's Classic that we went to this year, it was a really prestigious tournament. We played top 25 team in the nation, Kale from Georgia, and that was a really fun game. We were in the quarterfinals, I think, of the tournament, and it was Viking Hall, holds about 7,000. It was packed out, and playing a team like that, it's always super fun. We got off to a fast start, but they ended up beating us. But it was a really fun game with me and my teammates. We grew a lot from that game. But if I had to pick one off the top of my head, it would probably be that.
And it can either be the funnest person you've played against, or your most like favorite person that you've played against. But who would you say that would be?
I feel like the timing's right. Probably Reed Shepard. I mean, he's one of my good friends, and you've seen what he did last night. So I feel like if I picked anybody besides him right now, after 34 and a buzzer beater, it'd be wrong. But yeah, he's doing, and to see him be in the NBA next year if he wants to, that's really cool. And yeah, he's a really good player, really good friend, and a good family. So yeah, to see what he's doing is awesome.
Well, Trent, first off, I want to thank you for coming on, and best of luck to you for the remaining season. And again, I do appreciate you for everything that you've done for us.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all. Yeah, y'all do a great job. Appreciate y'all.
And thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
I want to say something for the Mr. Kentucky basketball voters. Let me read this to you. 30 and 10. 30 and 10. Not a game, not 2 games, not 3 games, a season average. 30 points a game, 10 rebounds a game. Show me a better stat line by anybody.
Well, the graph speaks for itself right there. 900 points in a single season.
Crown him Mr. Kentucky basketball now. Now. Crown it. Put the crown on him. This team has only lost 4 games. Crown him. This team is a serious contender for a state championship. And he's a big reason why. We already know about the school he's committed to. He could have went to several others. This guy's a player. That's a real team. Kyle Jones has absolutely got that team on fire. Watch out for them. Crown him Mr. Basketball.
I agree 100%. And it's been a great night, Mark. Loved all 3 guests that came on. All three guests had been great. Loved the interviews with them. But you got any final words?
I'm like you. I'm just overwhelmed with the 3 interviews and overwhelmed by, just all of them. Trent coming on and her 2 young ladies, Trendy and Claire.
Claire.
Yeah, Claire. If I said that right, Trendy and Claire, and just it's so busy of a time for all these student athletes, and then them give us the time just for us to ask some questions and them trying to lock into their ultimate goals. A big shout out to them, for again giving us their time and just the interview with Trent. You know, it's not winding down for, but it's winding down for us to interview and be able to get to see this guy. And I know what he's meant to me, and I know what he's meant to a lot of people in this area. And he deserves every bit of recognition that he will be getting here at the end of this year, because if not, these voters are blind. If they do not give him a Mr. Basketball, they're blind.
I agree 100%. And, again, I loved all three interviews, but for everyone here at the All Sports Media, I want to just tell you thank you for tuning in. God bless and have a good night.